Right, that's what I was like, wait, what month are we in now?
September,
Well,
October.
this is,
I think the first day of fall is sometime this week or something.
it's cozier. It's at the 20th.
Maybe not.
Call the September 16th, 2024 Polk City Planning and Zoning Commission meeting to order. Item 2, roll call.
Marsha,
Yes.
Vogel,
Yes.
Pregnant,
Yes.
Cyrus.
Yes.
Item 3, approval of agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda. Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 4, approval of P&Z Commission meeting minutes from August 19th, 2024.
I'll move we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5, 109 West Van Dorn Street Site Plan. Is there a developer report? State your name and address, please.
Yeah, good evening. Thanks. Chris Bauer, Shive Hattery Engineers and Architects, 4125 West Town Parkway, West Des Moines, Iowa. We're here today on behalf of Nan. She's unfortunately not able to attend today, and I think I wrote a letter to the commission there, kind of with a little information also. So what we're here for is really a conversion from a residential building adjacent to the square there into a retail use. They're proposing a small kind of hand goods retail store in the short term. The purchase of this property was the intent that she's eventually going to probably tear it down and build a more commercial use building. So what we're asking for today is kind of a short-term 5-year period to be able to use this property as a retail location as she kind of develops those plans for future commercial use there. So as part of the proposal in front of you here today includes a number of deferments that are being requested on behalf of the landowner there with kind of that 5-year time frame that she's committing to be able to bring the property into more commercial compliance there. I don't know, you want me to get into those in detail, Travis, or how detailed do you want me to be here, Commission? I assume you've all read those in your
Do
package.
you want to lead that, Travis, or do you want?
Yeah, you can leave that.
Okay.
Okay, I can leave that piece for you, okay. So really, yeah, there's the only site approval improvements that we're proposing right now are getting the ADA accessible on the front of the building. If you did drive by that, they did start putting a ramp in there, which will be modified according to the final plans here we worked out with the city engineer. And then other than that, she has kind of dressed it up a little and taken care of some deferred maintenance on the property since she took it over, along with some interior improvements. Other than that, there's really no other exterior improvements being proposed for the property. I'll take some questions or turn it over to Travis.
Yeah, let's do, Travis, you want to give the engineering report?
Yep, so, just for the commission's background, this is in the CTS zoning district, which is a unique one, at least for me. This is the first time we've had a site plan in that CTS district since I've been reviewing projects. As Chris mentioned, there is a requested deferment. Sidewalk construction, they're requesting use of the city standard form, which is essentially a deferral agreement that we use on a number of different properties. The most recent one this commission considered was North Frank Acres Plat 3, where essentially those property owners are responsible upon 60 days of written notice from the city to construct that sidewalk across the property. Typically that notification comes either when the street is being reconstructed, there's other public improvements that necessitate that sidewalk, or if the adjacent properties install sidewalks. We're recommending use of that because there is no sidewalk on either side of this property. And if the property does redevelop, that becomes more or less sacrificial sidewalk that seems unnecessary at this point. They're also deferring a 5-year deferral in the architectural design standards. Being a commercial district, this does have a mixture of permanent materials and brick or stone. They're asking for a deferral on that up to 5 years, with the intent being that when that building comes down, that whatever that structure gets replaced with would meet the architectural standards. They're also looking for a 5-year deferral on the stormwater management plan. Because of the lack of exterior modification, we view I guess it's fair to the property owner to defer that stormwater management plan, as the city's not aware and the developer has not complained of any stormwater issues on the site. And so we think a 5-year deferral up until that redevelopment makes sense. And then the property owner is requesting a full waiver of Polk City's detention requirements to be consistent with the other CTS properties in and around it. We think that's a reasonable waiver, just due to the size of the site and then the proximity of storm sewer and other characteristics of the CTS zoning district not really lending itself to detention. Developers engineers most recent submittal addressed all of staff's comments, and then a recommendation for approval on this project would be subject to concurrence from this commission on the deferral and waiver requests, addition of required notes to reflect the deferral and waiver requests once approved by the commission. Following approval by the city council, staff and developer have agreed that we would prepare an agreement after those approvals to ensure that no professional fees are wasted in preparing that agreement prior to approval. And then no temporary or permanent certificate of occupancies will be issued until all of the improvements delineated on this plan are completed. The only other thing that I wanted to mention is, as part of this proposal, there is a single employee-only parking stall being proposed behind the building. It'll be on a paved sidewalk, or on a paved surface with paved access, so there's no issues there, and it will be designated as employee-only via signage. So with that, we recommend approval of this, along with requested deferrals and waivers, and would welcome any questions, comments, or discussions that the commission would have.
I have a question about ADA compliance. Excuse me. I see there's a ramp there. Is the entry door to the facility 3 feet, 3 foot door?
Cody?
It is, yes.
Okay. And is there a restroom inside? Is it been changed to be compliant?
It is, they did complete renovations, they widened the door to the bathroom as well. The pathway to the bathroom meets those requirements as well. The sink has been switched out to be accessible, has a turning radius in there as well.
Okay. Is there a 5 foot turning space inside?
It's not the 5 foot, it meets the alternate, the T-shaped
T-shaped,
clearance.
okay. And then all the fixture and accessory heights are all being
It's
redone
all-
for that?
There was a slight variation with the vertical grab bar, there's a window in the way. They got as close, it's within a couple inches of being to the right measurement for an existing structure there. But they do have all the grab bar, everything is met as far as that goes as well.
Okay. It's hard to see, but it appears that there's not the correct width for entry into the door. The door, I assume, opens out to the outside. The outside door opens out.
It opens inside.
Opens in? Okay. Okay, thanks.
I have a question on the 5-year stipulation. What happens, you know, hopefully, assuming we approve it, hopefully the business does well, but we're at 4 years and 6 months and nothing has happened. What do we have in terms of, like, do we have repercussion options? What do we have to make sure that something is adhered to?
So it would, so the way that the deferral agreement will be set up is submission of a site plan is what, will trigger that 5-year period ending. And then we'll probably write something in there to make it, continually pursuing it, right? So that they can't submit a site plan and then nothing happens. If the agreement expires and those improvements are not made, it becomes a site plan violation. And Polk City Code allows for some sort of mitigation. I don't know if it's a fine or if it's it would be like, it would essentially be similar to like if somebody owned the site plan and went and tore a bunch of trees out, or they tore a bunch of parking stalls out. I mean, more or less, it becomes a facility that's in violation of the site plan at that point.
Gotcha. So the incentive is to actually comply, not
Yeah.
to not, okay.
Yeah, and so whether it's submission of the site plan and actively pursuing the approval of that site plan, or making the modifications as required by the agreement.
Sure.
Those are the two ways that we would address that.
Gotcha, okay. Thank you.
Okay, I'll go ahead.
Let's see if there's any comments from the public? None? Any other questions from the commission?
Okay, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion on the site plan approval for Nan Boland at 109 West Van Dorn Street. It's zone CTS for commercial realty retail. And I'd like to request approval of this pending the recommendations by by Snyder that they all are met.
Okay, roll call. Whoa, didn't have a second, good point. Now we can do it, roll call.
Friggins,
Yes.
Cyrus,
Yes.
Armstrong,
Yes.
Polk.
Yes. All right, thank you. Item 6, reports and particulars. Council liaison.
Well, we've had a busy couple weeks since you guys last have met. Development agreement with Ace Hardware was finalized by us. It's a 5-year property tax rebate, not to exceed $310,000. It's emergency street repairs done out here on the square and on Deer Haven. Those are complete. Next meeting, we are having a public hearing for the FY 26 through 30 capital improvement plan. We've had 2 readings on a bunch of code updates that we've had to do per state law and a court case. One of them giving authority to cite to the fire chief. That happened because of consolidation in state level agencies, usually a fire marshal thing. Adding a bunch of pedestrian right-of-way stipulations, strollers, scooters. I have another one on that list. Are all considered pedestrians, and the right-of-way applies to them now. And then modifying the liability for sidewalks. That one was a court case decided by the state Supreme Court, where the bank downtown was sued over poorly maintained sidewalks, and the court decided that while they are responsible for maintenance of those sidewalks, the liability ultimately lies with the city. So we've had to modify our code to meet that standard. 2 ordinances have been read to allow for UTVs. All 3 readings allowing urban chickens have been read. We've done the first reading for the Allure at Sailorville project. project, which has caused a bit of a hubbub, as I'm sure you're all aware. Bids for the annual street repairs project are being accepted right now. And we also approved a resolution to split the 1.33 acre plot up in Madison Drive.
All right. Thank you. No city managers, staff? Commission?
I sent a letter today to the mayor and resigned my position after about 16 or 17 years of serving. I will not be here anymore unless I'm out there causing problems. So,
Well, thank you for all that time.
yeah,
Yes,
thanks.
thank you.
I enjoyed working with everybody and the new faces and the old faces. And so it's been a lot of fun. So I served on P&Z for about 20 years in Johnston before we moved Polk City. So I turned 78 years old this last week, and we're going to spend more time in our second home. And so
Good for you.
as a council, I looked and I wouldn't be here till June. Well, I thought, well, that's really not fair. So no,
When's it effective?
no.
See, effective,
As soon as the council accepts it, I guess, would be
Okay.
the time, but this will be my last meeting, and if they don't accept it, I'm not gonna be here anyway.
so tonight we're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, as soon as you hit that gavel, I'm done.
Well, thanks, Doug.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else got anything to beat that? No? All right. Ready to adjourn? Are we up to an official motion or no? I motioned, it's done.
Second.